Another question, please?
Yeah.
I would like to know why you don't act more. We really miss you on TV.
You want to know why I don't act more? You miss me on TV.
Yeah, we miss you in the regular
You miss me on the regular series. Well, thank you very much.
More than just talk on the 911.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. That's very kind of you. This year, I will be directing an hour's film up in Canada. I will. I've just signed a contract to direct and act in a low-budget whodunit, but a script by a friend of mine who will produce it. So it's going to be a low-budget, interesting murder mystery that takes place in a subway train, and that will take place in the winter. And this spring, a play of a book that I co-wrote with Michael Tobias, which is out there now, called Believe. We wrote a play called Harry and Arthur, because the book is about Harry Houdini and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. We've made a play, and that play will be produced. I'll direct and act in the play with Leonard Nimoy, I believe. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, I'll play Harry Houdini, and it will be produced at Box County Playhouse outside of Philadelphia, and where it goes from there depends on the reaction.
Well, are you going to be in the series?
Am I going to be in another series? I hope not. It took years off my life. Well, I'm only 30, and I look much older because of that. Thank you. I appreciate your enthusiasm. Yes, you're waving your hands around.
This is a bit in that Star Trek episode.
This is, let me repeat as you go along. This is what?
This is a bit in that Star Trek episode when everybody else...
In the Star Trek episode where everybody else
ready to beam down.
gets ready to beam down.
To say?
What was that combination to say? To the left or the right.
My friend brought you some roses today, and she was a little nervous. You wanted to make sure that you would receive
This is the big one, folks.
I can tell you that we got the roses and they're waiting for them in the skybox.
Thank you very much for the flowers. Thank you. That's very kind. What is that sound?
Tom McFarlane's Farmmobile.
It's the Miramar.
Tom McFarlane's Farmmobile.
The car.
Okay, somebody pick it up.
Ready?
Ron, I was just curious, you do a lot of science fiction, you do books, plays, it seems like every media that deals with science fiction or magic or whatever. What's the appeal? I mean, was it the wonder that
What's the appeal of science fiction?
Yeah.
I do more than science fiction, but science fiction is very appealing on many ways. Take, for instance, these books. Between the invention of Ron and myself, there's no limitation. Hypothesize the destruction of the monarchy in England, and Buckingham Palace has been ruined and is the place where children's gangs inhabit. Isn't that mystical and marvelous? And they sing as some of their songs around the campfire, songs from Camelot. Now, that to me is absolutely astonishing in its kind of imaginative power. That, plus the fact that, for example, when you direct or pencil, for that matter, for a comic book, anything you can imagine is permissible. I put in a toilet in Star Trek V. What color was the toilet? How did it flush? Where did you sit? All these questions are totally in your imagination because it's science fiction, and that's the appeal.
Another question? Will you do your famous Saturday Night Live reenactment?
Get a comic book, will you?
Okay, one more question. Last question, okay?
Give it to Ron, Mark. Somebody, second to last question. Wait. I want a hand up for somebody who wants to ask Ron Goulart a question. Girl in the yellow. Ask Ron Goulart a question. What for? How do we work together?
I thought you was asking my hotel room number. We use very primitive means of communication, either in person or by telephone, usually.
He writes, I write, we pass it back and forth, and then he tells me what to do.
William gets all the stuff as it's done, and after Fabian messes it up and everything, he sends it out to him, and then we just talk about it. And he'll call and say, do you think oof is the thing the guy should say when he gets kicked in the stomach? And we talk about that.
Ron writes the comment.
What do you think of Howard Stern?
What do I think of Howard Stern? I've got that question a couple of times over the past year, so I guess Howard Stern's been on me, I guess. Okay, I didn't know who he was a couple of years ago, and I was on a publicity tour for something. I forgot what it was, but it was important that I was in New York, and it was important that I publicize in every avenue that I could. So I agreed to be on his show, but I couldn't get to the studio. I had to call him to my hotel room because he goes early in the morning. The night before, somebody told me, what are you doing on that show? It's a terrible show. It's really very bad, and told me about it. So that next morning, my wife Marcy and I were in the hotel room, and I had to make this telephone call about 7:30. Got out of bed, I went to the bathroom, I sat on the toilet, and I made the phone call and told him I was calling him from the can, which is an appropriate place to talk to him from. So I guess he's been after me ever since.
Okay, last question with the microphone, please.
What do you think that tech world's going to be as successful as Star Trek was?
What a nice question. What a way to go with it. If it's up to the three of us, it will be. The rest is up to you. Thank you very much.
We couldn't let your first convention go by without you having a souvenir, so this is for you.
Thank you.